Unfortunately, you will find some people from Ibuzo who are even known historians denying their Igbo identity, even while knowing fully well that the two founders of Ibuzo, one, Ebini, who is of the Ogboni stock, who hailed from Uri, is an Igbo man. And then the second, Umede, who hailed from Isu, who was the son of Ikenga, the king of Isu, is also an Igbo man. So the dual identity of Ibuzo people points towards Igbo land in the southeast. You are welcome to N1 Cultural Forum, where we promote the rich cultural heritage of the Igbo people. We are looking at how much influence did the Benin Empire have on Western Igbo communities. How much influence, how much did the Beninese influence the Western Igbo people? How much? And because you will hear a lot of people say, this area is not Igbo land, it is Benin. This area is not Igbo land, it is Benin. No, it is not Benin, it is Igbo. Some will say we even have Yorubas in our midst. So, today, we're going to dissect this topic. Look at it from a very thorough viewpoint. Even review already established articles and works done by historians. Today, we'll be looking at the Anioma people, a book by Ohamike, a historian, Don C. Ohamike. In analyzing the Anioma people, Don C. Ohamike wrote about Anioma origins. Anioma people may therefore be rightly regarded as a branch of the wider Igbo community who live on the western side of the broad valley of the lower Niger. They may also be regarded as the descendants of those Igbo men and women who, because of a combination of land shortages and population growth, began to cross the Niger in the 9th century AD to occupy some inviting sites on the west bank of the river. In their new homelands, they had the Edo-speaking groups as their western and northern neighbors, and the Isoko, Urobo, the Ijo, as their southern neighbors. As time went on, people from these communities began to join the established Anioma communities. I just read a portion of the work done by Don C. Ohamike, who looked at the origins of the Anioma people. You know, because of revisionism, some people tend to spread several narratives concerning the origin of Nde Anioma. So, as an Anioma historian, as an Igbo historian, I decided to look at works done by other historians on this subject and review their work with you. He continues like this. Our knowledge of the pre-colonial history of Anioma is limited. However, this is largely because those people did not write down all the elements of their history. Much of what is known about them today is derived from three sources, namely oral traditions, the written accounts of the first European visitors to the Niger Valley, that's explorers, traders, and missionaries, and the ethnographic reports of colonial administrators. A detailed study of these sources shows that most of the Anioma people, as we know them today, began to occupy the sub-region during the last 1,000 years. One interesting thing about these sources is the revelation that most communities trace their origin to nearby settlements. Thus, whereas some Nigerian groups may claim origin from such distant places as Egypt, Mecca, or Yemen, Anioma people still recall that their founding fathers and mothers migrated from places which are not more than 2 or 3 days march away. This assertion is well illustrated by the early histories of such large Anioma communities as Ogwashiukwu, Ogbori, Ibuzo, and Asaba. This work has left out largely the most culturally minded and the most ancient of them all, which is Ubuluku. But we will continue to review his work. We are reviewing the work of Don C. Ohamike, an Anioma and Igbo historian, a historian known all over the world. He published this work in Ohio, United States of America. So, he began by studying the history of Ogwashiukwu. Let's look at the history of Ogwashiukwu. It's very interesting. Ogwashiukwu and Ogboli origins says, the Ogwashiukwu and Ogboli traditions of origin states that the founders of Ogboli Ibuzo and Ogwashiukwu were born of the same parents. They were the sons of Ezenshi, in brackets, Ezenriago, whose period of reign was yet to be determined. Their mother was one of the many wives of the king. Both brothers lived happily with their parents at Nshi until the senior one, Odaibo, committed murder. This is also what I know, and this historical account is in tandem with what is already established as the history, the authentic history of Ogwashiukwu. He says here that the founders of Ogboli in Ibuzo and the founder of, because there are two founding groups in Ibuzo, the Isu group and the Ogboli group. So he's stating here that the founders of Ogwashiukwu, which is Odaibo, son of Ezenri, is a sibling, biological sibling of the founder of Ogboli in Ibuzo, and that is historically very correct. So let's continue. He says further that Odaibo committed murder, hence the reason why he moved away from Nri to a new settlement. That is consistent, okay? He said spilling blood of a kinsman was a serious offense, and according to the law of the land, the offender must either go into exile or be hanged. Now, according to history of Ogwashiukwu people, another version doesn't agree that Odaibo spilled blood. That version believes that Odaibo had a sexual relationship with his father's wife, and so he was exiled. He was to be killed, but he saved his community from shame by throwing a wrestler who had disgraced his community, and therefore he was granted amnesty. So he was exiled. That is another version that this author did not look into. So he continues by saying that Ezenriago and Odaibo, Odaibo's mother, chose exile for their son. They prepared a pot of medicine for Odaibo and instructed him to set the down anywhere the pot, to settle down, he meant to say, to settle down anywhere the pot fell from his head. Edini, Odaibo's brother, that is the younger brother, was also with him. He volunteered to go with the brother into exile. According to some Ogwashiukwu accounts, it is not only Edini, there is also another female who went with them. That is the person who founded Akuku Igbo, the headquarters of Oshimili North local government area. So it is established here by these accounts that I have read that the founders of Ogwashiukwu, Ibuzo, and Akuku Igbo were siblings. Now, Odaibo went on to settle in Ogwashiukwu. After his settlement in Ogwashiukwu, he established himself and had children. He became the father of 4 sons, namely Dei, Eshe, Ahe, and Etumuku. This account is in variance from the account written by non-Ogwashuku authors. So, we will look at other communities that he also considered their history. The history of Ibuzo. He said, in Ibuzo, he says, our great-grandfather was Umeji, son of Ikenga, the king of Isu. So Ibuzo is known as Ibuzu Isu because of Umeji, the son of Ikenga, the king of Isu. Ikenga was Ezi Isu. So today, unfortunately, you will find some people from Ibuzo who are even non-historians denying their Igbo identity, even while knowing fully well that the two founders of Ibuzo, one, Ebini, who is of the Ogboni stock, who hailed from Uri, is an Igbo man. And then the second, Umeji, who hailed from Isu, who was the son of Ikenga, the king of Isu, is also an Igbo man. So the dual identity of Ibuzo people points towards Igbo land in the southeast. And that is why they were named Uni Igbo Binozo, Ibuzo, Ibozo. That is their name. Igbo Binozo is the full name, which was wrongly written by the European anthropologists or the missionaries as Ibusa. In fact, they wrote it as Ibusa because they have no GB in their own letters of the alphabet. In the English alphabet, there is no space for GB. Otherwise, it would have been Ibusa. We call them Ndi Ibuzo, regardless of what is written in official documents. Please, if you're just seeing this video, kindly share to your audience. Kindly share to your audience. If this is your first time of coming across our channel or seeing our video, please give us a thumbs up. You can also go to the channel and give it a like. It's nice to see you online. So, continuing, Asaba, the history of Asaba has stirred a lot of controversies in modern time. The history of Asaba has stirred some controversy because the king of Asaba recently came out to make a statement that he is an Igala person. Thank you so much. That he is an Igala person, not really Igbo. But the name of the founder of the community, according to his own account, is Kainebisi, which is an Igbo name. Okay? So that raises some controversies as well as to what is the real origin of the Asaba people. So let's look at what this Don C. Ohamike had to say concerning the origin of Asaba people. He said most Anioma traditions speak of migration into Anioma, not out of it, suggesting that there was always enough land for newcomers. We have no evidence of wars resulting from land disputes. Instead, we know that many communities admitted people of diverse origins. The growth of Asaba illustrates the way in which newcomers were welcomed and incorporated into existing Anioma communities. This is historically very correct, okay? Asaba traditions record that the first settlers in Asaba were Ezanyahu and his descendants. This is very correct. Not much is known about the provenance of Ezanyahu, but his name suggests that he was Igbo and must have come from the eastern Igbo land. He may have been one of those Igbo men who, as previously discussed, crossed the Niger into Anioma in the earlier centuries in search of fertile lands. Meat, elephant tusk, and all other things that make life beautiful then. Several generations later, the descendants of Ezanyahu were joined at Asaba by parents of Nnebisi. Nnebisi's father was Ikenga, an Igala man. Nnebisi's father is not Ikenga. Asaba people call it Onojobo, is the name of Nnebisi's father, not Ikenga. An Igala man, and his mother, whose name oral historians have forgotten, was an Igbo woman from Nteje, near Oka. The name of Nnebisi's mother is also not forgotten, so they call them Ndi Asabu Ujom. This researcher is based in the United States of America, so we can forgive him for any mistake that he makes. I'm really glad we were able to do this, you and I. It's such an honor that we were able to do this, and I really appreciate it.